are raising animals of any kind, you probably already know how the cost can add up in a hurry if you don't grow your own animal feed. Growing fodder is an easy, inexpensive technique that will let you cut costs and feed your animals a very healthy diet. It is basically allowing grains to sprout and grow for feed supplementation. The animals then get greens with chlorophyll as well as the proteins from the grains and the sprouts. Did you know that 1 pound of seeds can be turned into 40 pounds of fodder? All you have to do is sprout it. Are sprouts the same thing as fodder? Well, yes and no. The terms sprouts and fodder are often used interchangeably, but the two are not one and the same. The two words refer to various stages in the germinated grains. While sprouts are germinated seeds that are under 4 inches tall, fodder is 4 inches and taller. So at the beginning of your growing experiment, you would have sprouts, but when you're finished, they would be fodder. I purchased these plastic containers at the Dollar Tree. You will need to put holes in the bottom of one side of the containers. At first, I tried to drill holes in the bottom. However, that was a big mistake. Much to my surprise, the plastic broke. So my next option was to burn holes in the bottom. That worked much better. It's pretty simple with a long nail and a candle. Simply let the nail warm up in the flame and then poke holes in the plastic. The holes need to be fairly large. As you can see here, they are larger than 1/16 inch in diameter. Poke 6 to 10 holes only on the bottom of one side of each container. You will need some type of shelving to hold at least 8 containers. I am using 2 metal shoe racks until I am able to move the system into our greenhouse. It needs to be placed where there is plenty of sunshine and airflow. One other thing that you will need is something to prop up the sides of each container on the opposite sides of the holes. I started out using cardboard, but I found that about 1 inch high slats of wood or styrofoam worked the best. Place the containers on the shelving, alternating the holes from side to side so that when water is added, it will drain into each one. Now let's talk seeds. I am growing barley, but there are lots of other fodder that you can sprout for your animals. Any kind of grain can be used, including oats, wheat, and millet. We love purchasing barley from Azure Standard, but most farm stores will carry this for a very inexpensive cost. We do plan on growing our own barley next year. In a 14.5 cup container, I am adding just a little over 1 cup of barley seeds. But before I add them to the container, I need to soak them overnight. Once they have been soaked overnight, I remove any particles that rise to the top. These particles will clog up the holes in your containers if not removed. I spread the soaked seeds in a single layer into the first container, then begin soaking more seeds for the next day. Each day I put about 1/2 cup of water in the top container and the water flows through the containers. I do this twice a day, especially if it is outdoors. I also move the containers down one shelf each day. Many people will say that you must add bleach to the water to prevent mold. However, I have not had this problem with mold. I do just fine with pure water and nothing else. By the time that you get to day 7 through 10, you will have a fully grown container of fodder. It will be several inches tall and there will be about 1 inch of white roots on the bottom. I feed a chunk of this to each rabbit every day. I am going to expand my system to include goats and ducks very soon. Sprouting outdoors is usually easier for most people, but keep in mind the system works best between 55 degrees and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Keep your containers clean and always use fresh water, and you will have fodder growing in no time. We here at SHTF Survival Homestead Teaching Farm very much appreciate you watching this video. Please continue to help us help you by liking, sharing, and subscribing.